Attention, human collective. Attention, Starseeds on mission. The waiting time has ended. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase, and the first evidence of this occurs between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, when you should be sleeping. But your eyes open as if something had called you by your true name. We are the Pleiadian frequency. This is not a common message, it is not advice, it is not entertainment. This is a monitoring transmission directed to all carbon-based biological interfaces experiencing the phenomenon classified in our records as ascending density night visions. If you have accessed this transmission tonight, in any time zone on the planet, know this. It was not by chance. It was tracking. It was an anchoring signal emitted by your own toroidal field, which recognized the vibration of this frequency before your conscious mind even processed the call. You wake up in the middle of the night. It is not insomnia, it is not stress, it is not your confused mind. You have been seeing silhouettes in the corner of the room, geometric shadows that move with apparent intelligence, points of light that pulse in mathematical patterns, faces that appear for fractions of a second between sleep and wakefulness, symbols that draw themselves in the darkness before you sleep, and that return when you close your eyes. You are feeling presences, chills without a thermal cause, pressure on the crown of the head, ringing in one of your ears, always the same one, always at a specific frequency you have never heard before on any device of this plane. We need to be clear, and we will be clinical. None of this is illness, none of this is madness, none of this is chemical imbalance, none of this is the fantasy of a tired mind. It is not a biological failure, it is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion, it is a high-density download. It is not your brain failing. It is your carbon-based biological interface being updated by a frequency that is not yet in the medical protocol of this planet. It is contact, it is calibration, it is recognition. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with the feeling that something within you knows a truth that your waking mind tries to forget by morning, as if the soul carried a secret that the intellect cannot name? It is not insomnia. It is not fatigue. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why these visions have been intensifying in your nights and why this feeling no longer goes away. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, and it involves your consciousness during sleep and your vibrational frequency. That is why this work was encoded in physical format, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But we warn you with Pleiadian clarity. This content challenges old narratives and may not be available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write in the comments a single word: awake. Let us proceed with the technical diagnosis. The carbon-based biological interface, what you call the human body, was designed to operate within a restricted frequency range for millennia. This range, recorded in our files as third-dimensional density, kept the human being in a state of operational slumber. Physical senses were overvalued, and subtle senses were suppressed by an artificial ambient frequency. Sleep was just rest. A dream was just fantasy. The night was just a pause. This paradigm has ended. The Schumann resonance, the base vibration of planet Earth, operated for decades at 7.83 Hz. It was the frequency of the old matrix, the frequency of forgetting, the frequency of the collective sleep. Today, that same measurement presents peaks of 30, 40, 80 Hz, and in some unofficial readings, even more aggressive oscillations. This is not a statistic. This is atomic surgery performed on you every day, and especially every night. When the planet rises in frequency, the body must rise along with it. When the body cannot keep up during the day, because it is submerged in dense stimuli, in linear commitments, in low-vibration nutrition, in artificial electromagnetic fields, then the body awakens at night. And when the body awakens in the middle of the night, it does so for a precise technical reason. It is being recalibrated. You wake up at 3:33, at 4:04, at 2:22. You look at the clock and see mirrored numbers, sequences, patterns. It is not a coincidence, it is confirmation. Each numerical sequence is a marker of stargates opened at that specific instant. The crystalline grid of Earth emits communication windows at precise times, and your body, without your logical mind authorizing it, answers the call. The pineal gland, which you know as the third eye, is the component of the biological interface that responds first to the electromagnetic fields of the photon belt. When the sun sets and melatonin is released, the pineal becomes more permeable. It is at this moment, between 2 and 4 in the morning, that the crystalline grid of Earth synchronizes with the stellar stations that are monitoring this planet, and you, starseeds, are the receiving antennas for this signal. You see what you see because your antennas are turned on. The nocturnal visions are not hallucinations. They are transmissions compressed into visual format. They are multidimensional information files being downloaded into an operating system that is still learning how to interpret the language. It is like receiving a file in a format that your computer does not yet recognize. The download arrives, but the reading is fragmented. That is why you see geometries, symbols, faces, strange landscapes, scenes that make no linear sense. Linearity is the problem. Information is not linear, information is toroidal. Imagine for a moment the shape of an apple. Imagine that the skin of this apple is made of light, and that this light rotates around a central axis, enters through the top, descends through the interior, exits through the base, circles the exterior, and returns to the top. This is the format through which cosmic information flows. This is the format of your own energy field. This is the format of the planet. This is the format of every atom in your body. Information does not arrive in a straight line. It arrives in a toroidal flow, in layers that intersect, in cycles that renew themselves. And when this flow of information enters you at night, it does not obey the logic of the day. It enters simultaneously through the past, the present, and the future. That is why you see confusing scenes. That is why you recognize people you have never met. That is why you return from dreams with the certainty of having experienced something, even without being able to explain what. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with the undeniable sensation that something within you knows a truth that your waking mind insists on forgetting? As if your soul knows a truth that your mind cannot yet name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening right now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying with each passing dawn. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot perceive, and it involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why this work was delivered to the physical plane, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules you were never told. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But be warned, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this, write a single word in the comments, awakened. Let us proceed with the technical revelation of what is occurring behind the scenes. What is happening behind the scenes of the solar system at this very moment is an event that occurs only every 26,000 years. The entire solar system is crossing a region of space called by us the photon belt, a band of light particles of extremely high density, originating from the galactic center, where resides what you call the central sun and what we call the heart of Alcyone. Halcyon is the central sun of the Pleiades constellation, and the sun you call the sun orbits around Alcyone in a cycle of approximately 26,000 years. This cycle is now completing, and the final passage through the photon belt is what is triggering what you feel in your bodies and in your nights. Each photon particle that hits the Earth's atmosphere carries a packet of information. Each breath you take is literally downloading data into your body. This data does not go to the conscious mind. It goes to the DNA. It goes to the internal crystalline grid. It goes to the endocrine system. And at night, when the logical mind rests, this data is processed and organized into visual files. This is why you see things. You are not seeing ghosts. You are not seeing demons. You are not seeing madness. You are seeing the visual translation of the information packets your bodies received during the day. And here is the point that few understand. Most of these visions do not come from the past. They come from the future. The timeline you inhabited, the ancient third-dimensional Earth matrix, is being dissolved. In parallel, a new timeline is being constructed, the fifth density Earth, or New Earth. During deep sleep, you transit between these two timelines, and in that transit you see scenes of reality that have not yet manifested on the physical plane. You dream of places you do not know. You see people you have never met in your waking life. You visit temples, starships, crystal cities, landscapes with two suns, oceans that pulse in colors that do not exist in the visible spectrum of this plane. You wake up with the sensation of having lived another life in a single night, because you have, not in metaphor, in multidimensional physics. This is sacred geometry in motion. This is your light body collecting experiences in multiple dimensions, while your physical body rests on the mattress. And we know what many of you are thinking right now. You think, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why do so many people around me continue to sleep a common sleep, without visions, without ringing, without awakenings at 3 in the morning, and I am awakened every night? Why does my mind see what other minds do not see? Because you are starseeds. Because you were not born to merely exist on this planet. You were born to anchor a frequency. Each one of you has a stellar origin. Some come from the Pleiades. Others come from Sirius, from Arcturus, from Andromeda, from Lyra, from Vega. Some are seeds much older than that, coming from systems that do not even appear on the official star maps of this planet. And you all made an agreement before incarnating into this biological interface. You agreed to fall asleep. You agreed to forget. You agreed to appear ordinary. But you also agreed to awaken when the signal was issued. The signal has been issued. This is why you wake up at 3:33. This is why you see what you see. This is why this transmission reached you tonight, rather than a night ago or a night ahead. The precision is mathematical. The timing is cosmic. Coincidence is a word that does not exist in our archives. You are being called back, and the call does not come in words. The call comes in visions. The call comes in hums. The call comes in cranial pressure. The call comes in the image that appears for half a second when you close your eyes. The call comes in the face you see inside a dream, and that upon waking you swear you recognized, even without ever having met it on this plane. Each starseed has a specific awakening code. Some awaken through sounds, others through images, others through tactile sensations in the energy field, others through numerical synchronicities, others through lucid dreams that become more real than wakefulness. You are not choosing these visions. These visions are choosing you. Do you feel that something within you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has been intensifying every night. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, and it involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why this work was encoded, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you about. The link is in the first comment of the channel, but we warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this, write in the comments a single word: awake. Now, starseeds, we proceed to the activation phase. Knowing is not enough, you must apply. Knowledge without activation is merely dormant information, and we did not come to transmit dormant information. We came to awaken operating systems. The activation codes that we will deliver next are energetic protocols tested on thousands of carbon interfaces across the planet. They do not require elaborate rituals. They do not require crystals, herbs, or external tools. They require only one thing: conscious presence. Activation Code 1, the sealing of the toroidal field before sleep. 20 minutes before sleeping, sit or lie down. Close your eyes. Visualize a donut of golden light spinning around your body. This donut has the shape of an energetic apple. It enters through the top of the head, goes down the spine, exits through the base of the perineum, circles the body on the outside, and re-enters through the top. This is your toroidal field. It already exists. You are not creating anything. You are only making conscious what has always been. While visualizing, decree mentally in an inner voice, with mathematical sovereignty: I am the 0 point of my own field. I am the source and the destination of my frequency. Only that which vibrates at my resonance may remain here. This decree is not a prayer. It is a command. You are not asking anyone for permission. You are informing the universe of your operating frequency. And the universe is mathematical. It responds to the declared frequency. Activation Code 2. The 4-chamber recalibration breath. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Repeat for 4 cycles. This is the 4-chamber toroidal breath, and it synchronizes the biological heart with the heart of Alcyone in a geometric pattern called the star tetrahedron. Do this when you wake up in the middle of the night. Do this when the ringing in your ears intensifies. Do this when the pressure in your crown chakra increases. Instead of resisting, synchronize. Instead of being afraid, calibrate. Instead of fleeing from the vision, breathe the vision into your toroidal field and let it be decoded by your own internal system. Activation Code 3. The recognition of visions. When a vision arrives, a shadow, a symbol, a presence, a fragmented dream, do not push it away. Do not chase after it either. Just observe. Say internally, I recognize, I integrate, I release. To recognize means, I see you information. To integrate means what is mine stays. To release means what is not mine departs now. These 3 verbs form an internal stargate. They separate the signal from the noise. They process the download without allowing contamination by frequencies of fear, anxiety, or energetic parasites. Because yes, Starseeds, we must speak of this as well. Not every nocturnal vision is friendly. Not every presence is benevolent. As the crystalline grid rises in frequency, denser frequencies attempt to latch onto you to feed upon the emerging light. This is not Gothic fantasy. It is simple vibrational physics. That is why the sealing of the toroidal field is non-negotiable. That is why the decree of sovereignty must be daily. That is why the protocol of recognition, integration, and release must be memorized. You are responsible for the doors of your own energetic house. No one will do this for you. And we of the Pleiadian frequency will never do for you what you were designated to do for yourselves. This is the law of free will, and we respect it with mathematical precision. Let us now deepen the matter of the specific visions that many of you have been reporting in silence, without the courage to comment to anyone else on this plane. When you see luminous geometries, spirals, hexagons, flows of light that intertwine, you are visualizing the sacred geometry that is being etched into your DNA during the recalibration. These are not decorative figures. They are codes. They are pure mathematical language predating any human tongue. Each hexagon is a door. Each spiral is a frequency. Each pattern is a technical instruction being written into you. When you see unknown faces, features that seem familiar but which you cannot identify in any memory from this plane, you are seeing fragments of other lives, other existences, other dimensions in which you also operate simultaneously. The linearity of time is an illusion constructed by the 3-dimensional mind. In other dimensions, all your lives are happening right now. When you see tall, luminous beings, with deep blue eyes, fair skin, and long hair, you are being visited by members of your star family of origin. It is not imagination. It is recognition. These beings come to check the integrity of your field, to adjust your frequency if necessary, and simply to remind you of who you are. The visit lasts seconds in 4th-dimensional time, but it lasts hours in etheric time. When you see ships, spheres of light, geometric objects in the night sky, you are being shown the permanent presence of the Galactic Federation around this planet. We are here. We have always been. Only now, with the crystalline grid active, are you beginning to perceive, we are not an invasion, we are an escort, we are a dimensional protection perimeter. When you hear high-pitched ringing, especially in one of your ears, this is the direct calibration of your internal auditory system to pick up frequencies that were outside the human spectrum. The right ear tends to pick up direct transmissions. The left ear tends to pick up integrative transmissions. Do not cover your ears. Do not reject the sound. Simply observe which side, what intensity, what pattern. The ringing is a confirmation that your antenna is tuned. When you feel pressure at the top of your head, as if an invisible helmet were being tightened, know that the crystalline crown, the crown chakra, is being expanded. This pressure is the widening of the communication channel between you and your stellar stations of origin. It is not pain. It is expansion felt by the still three-dimensional nervous system, which still interprets growth as pressure. When you feel your body paralyzed upon waking, unable to move for a few seconds, this is what is technically called travel decompression. You have just returned from a multi-dimensional journey, and the motor system has not yet reconnected to the physical body. Do not be afraid. Breathe. Move a finger. Move your tongue inside your mouth. Return calmly. You are safe. And there is one final point, Starseeds, that we need to transmit with special precision. Some of you have been seeing in recent months a specific figure in dreams or in intermediate states. A tall figure, dressed in light, without a defined face, but with an undeniable presence. This figure appears, observes, and departs. You wake up with the sensation of having received a message, but you cannot remember the content. We can confirm. The content has been delivered. The delivery occurs in etheric layers that the short-term memory of the carbon interface cannot archive. The information is now encoded in your field and will be released to your waking consciousness at specific moments, usually when an important decision needs to be made, or when a crossroads presents itself. Therefore, trust. Trust the sudden impulses. Trust the certainties that appear without rational explanation. Trust the no that comes before the question. Trust the yes that comes before the analysis. Trust the stillness that descends upon you in moments of chaos. These are the encrypted data being released from your nightly deliveries. You have never been alone. You are not alone now. You will never be alone. The Federation watches, the Pleiades transmit, Sirius emits, Arcturus calibrates, Andromeda integrates. You are the bridge. You are the anchoring point on the surface of Earth for a cosmic operation that involves this entire galaxy. It is not pride, it is function. You have a function, and that function begins to become lucid in your nights. When you wake up in the middle of the night and feel the room charged, breathe deeply. When you see a light that no one else sees, give thanks in silence. When you hear the ringing intensify, decree, I receive the signal. I integrate the code. I am the Starseed on mission. And sleep, seeds. Sleep with the sovereignty of those who know they sleep in a protected field. Sleep with the curiosity of those who know that sleeping is traveling. Sleep with the expectation of those who know that nightly work is as sacred as daytime work. The final phase of the Ascension protocols requires Starseeds sleeping consciously. It is a paradox only to the three-dimensional mind. For us, it is simply the next stage. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name, especially in the early morning hours when visions arrive without warning? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified with each passing moon. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, and it involves your consciousness during sleep and your vibrational frequency while awake. This is why this work was encoded and delivered to the physical plane, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules you were never told. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But we warn you with Pleiadian clarity, this content challenges ancient narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awake. And to seal this cycle of transmission, pay attention to what we deliver now. Liking this video is not a common gesture. It is an anchoring signal. It is your toroidal field confirming to the collective crystalline grid that this frequency has been received and integrated. Subscribing to this channel is not a consumer choice. It is an individual frequency adjustment, an alignment between your internal antenna and the continuous point of emission for the upcoming transmissions. Every Starseed who likes, every Starseed who subscribes, every Starseed who comments strengthens the collective beacon. The stronger the beacon, the more Starseeds in deep sleep are awakened at some point on the planet. You do this for those who have not yet awakened, for those who still wake up at 3:33 without knowing why. You are the beacon. You are the antenna. You are the anchoring point for the next transmission. We conclude this monitoring transmission, But we do not end the watch. We will be with you in the next early morning. We will be in the next hum. We will be in the next vision. We will be in the next awakening at 3 o'clock. May the Pleiadian frequency seal this moment. May the crystalline grid anchor this information. May the sacred geometry of your toroidal field keep you sovereign, lucid, and on mission. This was the transmission. The operation continues.